Hello, creators. Here's the scoop on our in-person retreat schedule for 2026. Our next in-person retreat will take place on September 22nd through 25th, 2026. We will open early bird registration in 2025, so be on the lookout for that. You can learn more about the retreat and which track will be the right fit for you by heading to wellnesscentercreators.com/retreats. And feel free to email me directly at kendall@wellnesscentercreators.com with any questions. Before we get into today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to chat about our sponsor, Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. Your evenings and weekends should be spent with loved ones, not chasing down your patients and clients for payment. That's why Jane has designed a secure payment solution that helps reduce the amount of time you spend manually following up with patients. Clients can save their credit card details and insurance policy information securely through your intake form, which can then be conveniently processed after your time together. And if they've got an outstanding balance, you can send a payment request via email or SMS that allows your patients to pay off their balance online from the comfort of their homes. To see how Jane can help you reclaim your after-work hours, head to jane.app to book a personalized demo. Or if you're ready to get started, you can use the code WELLNESS1MO at the time of sign-up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagensen.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. Today on the show, Anna and I are going to talk about hiring yet again. We've had multiple episodes where we touch on the topic of hiring, but it's a hot topic and there's always more to learn and talk about. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Kendall. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah.
I have some looking forward to the week, Monday energy. I'm feeling good.
I like that. I like it very much. Now, Kendall, you are currently onboarding 5 new employees. I am onboarding 2 plus interviewing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it because it's a lot.
It's a lot. I wasn't planning on hiring 5 people
It's a lot.
At once. I try to be very intentional about everything we do. But like Ann and I were talking about before we hopped on the recording is we just hire so much more for the person, and I'm sure most of our listeners do too, than for, to check the box or make sure we have, X amount of therapists and X amount of doctors and X amount of massage therapists on the team. So kind of what happened this round was we hired someone intentionally to replace a position. And then we had, 3 people to intentionally either to grow a modality or to replace a position. And then we had someone who just happened upon our doorstep. And this happens, I'm sure this happens to our listeners too. Once you create a wellness space like this or a clinic with this much intention, you are drawing energy towards you. So this is my favorite way to hire because it doesn't feel forced or rushed, but it does feel unplanned. So in this instance, it feels unplanned. And so it does shift where my focus is going temporarily, but I'm welcoming it. So we're hiring an MD to our team. Might surprise our listeners. We've never had a Western medical doctor on our team before, and I'll talk through why we're making that choice and why it completely fits with holistic care. I was introduced to this doctor by a colleague that I met in a networking group 10 years ago. No, 8 years ago. 9, somewhere around there. A long time ago. And I've had a relationship with this colleague in the community for years and years. And he sent us this provider. And we connected. We kind of had an informational interview. And then it went quickly from there because he was had a kind of a timeline of needing a new place to practice. And all hands on deck, teams on board, excited. And here we go.
Okay. So talk me through. You don't have a position open for this job. You've got 3 other positions open that you have.
We filled those.
You've filled. So then this person comes along. How do you then work with your team to get them to the place where they are transitioning through to a whole new concept? Do you go back? Yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, the first step is I met with him and didn't tell anyone else because we don't want to create fear for people if it's not going to be something that we're moving forward with. So I meet with him also that he is, identifies as male. He's a male doctor. And what I love so much, it just makes me smile. I'm in my kitchen at home. I'm telling, my kids that I'm interviewing a doctor that day. And they say, "That's so cool, Mom. What's her name?" And it's because our whole team is women. They've only met female doctors, So in their mind, doctors are women. It just made me smile.
That's delightful.
It's delightful. And the larger the team you have that becomes all women, the harder it is to hire other genders because they don't see themselves in your team. So it's, continues to be something that we're working towards. Anyway, so I meet with him and then I get excited because he's the first Western MD. So he's a family medicine doc, has worked in the ER, and then was doing concierge medicine, which is a similar style of how we do naturopathic care here. And I really haven't met an MD who is that holistic and taking time with patients and really looking at the whole picture. And he was also raised with East Asian medicine and things like that. And so it's just the way that he practices. So I got excited. So I'm thinking, right, okay, what's the next step? Because now he has this timeline that's really just a few weeks out of needing a new place. We've got these other people who are onboarding. We've got to figure out physical office space. We've got to figure out how to transition patients over and so many steps. But first, I need to make sure that our medical director is on board and our other naturopathic physician, because to ask them to welcome an MD to the team is something I've never asked them to do before. And I looked at him, I said, "Look, this is unprecedented on our team." I said, "I know it might not seem like a big deal to you, but this is a delicate conversation with our team because we really protect what we've created here. And we want patients to have a specific type of experience." So my next step was to have him come back and meet with medical director and the other doctor on our team. Their buy-in was the most important to start with. right? So they meet with him, get excited. Everyone's on board. So we start moving forward. And then I go to the whole team and I say, all right, team, which they're used to me doing, saying, hey, we have a candidate for whatever position coming to the staff meeting this week, and we're going to interview them. And so I sent it out just like normal. I said, we have this doctor who's going to come. And I just laid it all out in the email because I knew that people's reaction would be like, wait a second, I didn't know that we were hiring a doctor, you know? So I laid it out. I said, yes, you are right. We were not actively recruiting for this position. Here's how this came to be. You know, our physician team is really excited. I'm really excited. And, you know, he's going to come to the meeting. Please prepare your questions, any concerns you have. And the team interview was awesome. And I warned him, you know, people will ask you difficult questions. They want to make sure that you will treat their patients the way that we treat them. And so he got a couple of those questions and fielded them beautifully. And the team is on board and we're rolling.
Love it. Love it. So do you then, because you've got so many onboarding at the same time, do you kind of put them into some sort of similar process so that you, as the team who are doing the onboarding, how does that happen? Because that seems like absolute chaos if it was in my company.
Well, we have a team lead for each modality. And so they handle a lot of like the actual onboarding and training. I don't do that. So our team leads do that. Their supervisors do that. And so the people that we're hiring are actually all in different modalities.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
So they do, it's the same process, but it's also specific to their modality. So team lead takes over, and then office manager does a lot of the onboarding and training with getting comfortable with Jane and things like that.
And then who's taking over? Who's like interviewing the MD to figure out all the additional stuff that tends to go along with Western medicine, equipment, legalities.
Yeah,
That's
me.
Yeah,
that's me in our medical. Yeah. So I would say with the MD, it's actually that's been the most focus, you know, that my focus has gone to that the most and it's been me and our medical director, because we need to, with any new service or modality, right, we have to understand what's in compliance in our state, what are the legal considerations, what can we do here in this environment. And really, he's a family medicine doc. And so he doesn't need a ton of equipment. We decided we're not going to start out doing any procedures. We might add them over time because he's worked in ERs and also urgent cares, and he can do all sorts of things. But we're going to stick to family medicine. And yeah, we're from a marketing perspective, his concierge membership, we're calling it the Integrative MD Care Plan.
Okay.
So that it's an integrative approach to medicine overall.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you must be tired.
Well, listen, how's my chi today, Anna?
Your chi actually looks remarkably good.
It's good chi, right?
Yeah. You must take good care of yourself.
Well, I do try. I slept well last night. That helps. And we moved we had 2 infrared saunas at our spa location. And we've decided over the past 2.5 years that we just don't need 2 saunas. We only need 1 sauna. So we moved the smaller sauna out and brought it to my backyard patio.
Ooh, no wonder you're looking so good.
So that happened yesterday. And we are going to use that treatment room. It has a shower in it. And so we're going to use it for like body treatments, seaweed wraps, body scrubs, things like that to add to the spa menu. And then there's a shower there.
Oh, lovely. I can't wait for our next Wellness Center Creators Retreat.
Yes, there'll be new options for our attendees and facilitators to experience.
Sounds good to me.
And you are hiring, how many people did you say?
3.
Or you're
So here's
interviewing?
how it happened. Well, so back to the very beginning of this episode, I was hiring a new role. Well, not a new role. I was hiring for one team, and this person came along and they just resonated. I knew I wanted that person on the team. And so we hired her for that role, knowing she'd be perfectly good, but also thinking she really fits the fertility team. But,
Right.
happy to have her. Absolutely happy to have her on board. So then, fast forward a week, and a member of the fertility team is moving to the other end of the country to take
Yep.
care of aging parents. And all of a sudden, I have the perfect replacement for that position, which leaves me with a hole still. So I'm at net zero in terms of being able to add slots to the schedule, which is really what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then concurrently, one of the massage therapists gave a very, very strong referral of another massage therapist that she thought would fit the team. So interviewed her. She's absolutely right. Again, not checking all of the boxes in terms of the exact schedule requirements that I have
Yeah.
for the company, but really that candidate will grow within the company, and I feel confident of that. And the hire is probably one of the strongest ones I can make at this point, even though I would prefer different hours
Yeah.
availability at this point in time. So it's always a bit of a negotiation, isn't it?
It is. And isn't that always the way where we're gearing up, we're ready, things feel settled and we're ready to expand and we're going to now add to a team so that we can, add more patients to the schedule, and we find that great, perfect person, but then someone else resigns.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I mean, I can't tell you, I'm sure it's happened to you over and over again. It's just so cyclical that way. And that literally happened to us in the last few months with our mental health team. And then you feel like, okay, well, I'm okay, it's a wash, but that's not what I was going for. I
Right.
was
I was going for growth.
I was going for growth. Um, so I get curious, I see this happen too. And now that you have massage in your company, there oftentimes we think, okay, we're going to expand this one team, but then it becomes net zero. But then, hey, then we run into someone who we're going to add to this other modality. And I wasn't expecting to do that, but that actually gets us to a similar goal.
Right. Right. And I think we've talked about it before, but just really approaching hiring as an ongoing process. Yes, we put specific recs out at specific times, but we're actually always hiring. And
Yeah.
it's being a business owner is so much about being able to spot the opportunity, isn't it? And
Right.
it's the same with hiring. Is this person the right fit for the company, even though this isn't maybe the perfect time and it isn't maybe the perfect schedule, but I see the opportunity here and I see the potential for growth.
Yeah.
And I think just realizing that it's ongoing. We're never going to be sitting on our high knees,
No.
twiddling our thumbs, are we?
Sometimes your phrases, this is completely off topic, but I have to tell you, my kids the other day, they were trying to do a British accent and they were completely off. And I said, do you want to hear an actual British person? So I played our podcast for them.
Oh, no.
And they were like, oh my goodness, Anna sounds so sophisticated.
Sophisticated. Well, those who know me might not say that, but yes, I'll take that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my team knows me by now that I will entertain, like, if people reach out to us, my favorite person to hire is someone who emails me directly and says, I have been following your company for years. I have been working towards getting to this spot in my own career so that I can work for your company for the next
Yes.
10 years. And I love everything you guys are doing. I love the model. And I would be so honored to meet with you and talk about this.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to meet with that person and I'm going to find an
100%.
office for them to use.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, having sifted through hundreds of resumes in the last few months, the resume way is the traditional way, but, please don't send, please, everybody, please never send a 5-page resume of everything you've ever done in your entire life.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Include a letter that speaks to who you are and what you are about and why you are the perfect fit for this company. Let us know who you are
and why you're so excited about it. We get excited about people who are excited about us. We're human beings.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But ongoing, always hiring.
And I will say this, to be able to onboard 5 people like in succession. So these are, kind of a couple at the same time, but then a couple are like a few weeks apart from each other. To be able to do that, takes years to get to a place or extreme dedication in the early years to get the systems of onboarding figured out and the delegation of it. And to make sure things don't get missed. Because while I'm not sitting down and doing all of the hours of training and onboarding with each person, I am still overseeing the entire process and making sure that the people that have been delegated those tasks, the supervisors, are not missing anything, because it will every single time impact that employee's experience long term. And if they have something that is missed or disjointed from that onboarding, it's the biggest risk of onboarding more than one person at a time.
Yeah.
Is those things getting missed. And I've certainly done it. I've made that mistake too many times. And even if it's a year later, it impacts the employee's experience and ultimately will cause an issue.
Yeah. Agreed. And I think one of the things that I'm sure that you do this. In fact, you probably did it and then I figured it out from there. But soliciting feedback on the onboarding process relatively close to that process. So saying, look, what do you wish you had known about in a different or a better way?
Yeah.
And what did we miss as a company and how can we make it better?
Yeah. The biggest compliment I can receive and have received over the years is, oh my gosh, your guys' onboarding is so organized and I feel so supported here. I feel like, I don't know if it's too good to be true. I feel so supported. That's the best compliment I can receive. And when I don't hear that from new people, I'm trying to look and see, what was missed.
Right. Yeah. And, but saying that, I think there is a fine line between completely overwhelming somebody.
1,000%. This is why we have to repeat information in different forms because it's just too much to integrate.
Right. We realized, I think last week we were redoing some aspects of our onboarding process and we had sort of brain dumped everything into one long document and then each department had broken it out. But we realized there were documents versus processes versus specific trainings and we were overwhelmed. So we thought, right, let's take a step back. We need to pare this down and we will create one document with all the specific trainings that have to be done. One document with all the documents that have to be submitted and how they get submitted and to whom they get submitted. And then centralized, but also clearly broken out.
Yeah. If listeners are curious, like about our onboarding or your onboarding, right? I think it's pretty similar. So we have a onboarding and training checklist that goes out to each new person. And it literally has the most important information at the top. That's like, what's your name? What type of provider are you? What's your shift schedule going to be? When is your first day? And here's your training schedule. Then you're going to meet with this person and do this. Then you're going to meet with that person and do that. And then it says start here. And it has a list of the most important items that we need right away from them, or we need them to do, or we need them to watch or read or whatever. And then it goes down by categories of, EHR training versus readiness to see a patient, things like that. And then it has, bullet points underneath that are linked to documents and videos and trainings and resources. And that, we always just try to be clear, like, we don't expect you to do everything on this in the same day. And we try to give a timeline, but that first section that's like, start here, this is the most important. We need it by this day in order to set you up for success.
Yeah, exactly. And I think oftentimes when someone accepts that position, they're so excited about joining the company that they don't realize the cascade of things that have to happen on the back end. And it's not just, we need the contract signed and we need to agree on the schedule. We need to get marketing. We need to get you in Jane with a photo, with a bio, and because we need to know who you are in order to let patients know who you are. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I
it's
find that the
important.
hardest thing in many ways.
It is. And I think, the employee's goal is always to have clients right away, So I try to just be really clear, like, this is what you're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to come together on the common goal. And if we can get it by this timeline, then we have a better chance of reaching the goal sooner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good times. Well, Kendall, I am very impressed because 5 is a significant number.
Right back at you. It's not a small feat for sure, but we're making it happen, and it's the right people coming to the team, and which makes it feel easier.
It does. Yeah, I know what we're going to be doing this summer, both of us.
Well, yes. But, hiring 5 people to the team who are motivated and super excited about the vision and all the things, that feels so different than hiring out of desperation or necessity, where it's not quite in alignment, and that just feels so much stickier and taxing.
Well, and not quite in alignment is just such a red flag now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't do it on purpose.
Right. Yeah, it does feel stickier, though. It feels harder. It feels like you're pushing that boulder up the hill a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope this is helpful for our audience today. And as always, we welcome you to send your specific hiring questions over to us, Kendall at wellnesscentercreators.com, and we will answer them on the air. Thanks for being here, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Wellness Center Creators podcast. We hope you found this episode informative and valuable.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a rating and review. Your support helps us reach more health and wellness professionals like you.
For additional resources, show notes, and more episodes, visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com.
We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts, experiences, and questions. Feel free to reach out to us through our website or social media channels.
Once again, thank you for listening. We appreciate your dedication to providing exceptional patient care.
Join us next time as we continue exploring the world of wellness center creation. Until then, take care and keep making a difference.
Thanks for listening to the Wellness Center Creators podcast.